All right, so I know a lot of people out there are dealing with the cold weather right now, and I don't know if you're up north, down south, dealing with the cold weather. And if you're down south, you're probably like me in an area where roads or conditions are bad, and the community in the area isn't equipped to be able to deal with this kind of weather. So roads aren't getting cleared, people are freaking out, exchanging and buying propane, to where those that already have propane to exchange and stuff aren't able to exchange because they're not able to get new deliveries of propane being made. So I'm making this video so this way anybody that has the capability or the knowledge can be able to build themselves a solar heater and be able to utilize natural solar energy to heat their facilities without using propane. I'm currently running a small electrical heater. As you can see, the little red dot right there, that is the electrical heater, and that runs completely off my solar. When I'm using it on the inverter, I have a 500 watt inverter that I had when I first got my van, and I was running it on that for a short amount of time, for like a half an hour, just to take the chill off, and it worked pretty well. Didn't use a lot of energy, so that works. But if you're unable to have electricity, you still need to be able to create heat somehow, and that's where my solar heater that I made comes in handy. So let me turn my camera around and I'll show you. So there is my solar heater. Okay, down here at the bottom is the out, right here is the in. Since heat rises, you want the heat to go in to be warm. It goes down through, which is facing the sun and the UV rays bouncing off the snow, and then comes out through that fan, sucking the air back out. Now, I do have a little thermostat here, and even though I'm running my electric heater, just right above it, it says it's about 68 degrees in here, which isn't too bad. Now, let me flip this around and I'll explain exactly how this works. So, I've got an 80 watt solar panel that I got off of Temu that has USB ports on it. And I wired those two little computer fans together and wired them into a USB connection that I have plugged into our little 80 watt solar panel. And that is what's running those two little fans right now. So that is completely solar operated. It's not using any electricity from the grid or from my solar. It's actually using its own solar panel to run those two little fans to create heat. Now, granted, the position of it isn't direct sunlight. It's using the sun rays that are bouncing off the snow, and as the sun starts to go to the west side of the camper, since my camper is currently facing north and south, and my nose of the camper, the driver area, is facing south, as the day goes on and it becomes like 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun will actually be hitting that box, which actually will start creating some heat and actually start blowing some of it in, which will actually help heat it up a little bit more in here. Now, the cool thing about that is, as the day goes on, the sun from the west side of the camper is going to heat the camper for the rest of the day until the sun goes down. And that's what's going to help create a little bit of heat in here, to where I don't have to use electrical or solar power to heat the RV. And because the RV is at 84, it's more than 40 years old, it's got some issues with cold spots. The cab area is cold. The back area where the bathroom is missing insulation, and there is currently no insulation underneath the flooring on the outside of the RV underneath. So I've got a lot of cold issues that I deal with, but because the temperatures get down into the teens at night down where I'm at, I have to be able to have heat somehow. So I've been utilizing the electric a little bit to be able to help offset the usage of propane and everything. And since there's now becoming a propane shortage in the area I'm in, I'm definitely wanting to utilize my solar heater. So hopefully, if you can build one, I recommend you do, because it will definitely come in handy. Now, remember, the bigger you make it, the more heat it can produce. But also you have to remember that it has to be in direct sunlight for at least 90 to 100% of the day. And if it's not going to create a lot of heat for you. Plus, you have to utilize the best positioning of being able to get the heat into the house. So the further away you put it from the house, the less heat it's actually going to get in there. So you got to make sure that if you're doing like what I do, put it in the biggest window that you can get it to fit in, and build it to the shape of that window, so that way it just form fits. Get a couple of L brackets and mount it to the framing of the window, and it'll stay put. You just got to figure out how to create the electricity for the fans to circulate the air. This is going to be a big help for you. So at the end of this video, I'm going to go out, I'm going to take a picture of the solar heater from outside and the 80-watt solar panel that I have powering the two fans. So just hold on a second and I'll do that for you.